Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Noobtoob Modcast featuring Jam and Slaver, Locke, and Sunflower.
Good morning, world, and welcome to the Oscar-winning Modcast for Sunday, February 22nd. This is episode 57, and I am Locke, your host with the best haircut in the land. Joining me today are my special friend, Sunflower, the bear wrestling mohawk-toting warrior.
I have scars on my body and a 3D Speedo.
That's right. And Jam and Slaver, the tea-sipping, hunter-head-slapping sumo man.
Ha, 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 ha! I'll toss salt in your eyes and your wounds. Hey, everyone.
All right. Let's get this together. We're going to pick up our visual scannings to tell you about the games we've been playing. We've got an obscure voice clip that will hopefully inspire you to guess the game from whence it came. A bit of news about PAX, some Codemasters and Dawn of War stuff, a little versus action between myself and Jam. We're going to end it all off by answering questions from our mailbag donated by you, our lovely listeners at our blood donor clinic. But let's kick things off with what we've been playing, boys.
What you guys been playing? What you guys been playing? What you guys been playing?
Mr. Slaver, you've been away a little bit. Tell us what you've been playing. I would love to hear from you.
Not a great deal, but I did have the opportunity to play Flower, the hot new game for PSN this week, which I was very kindly shared with Sunflower, so you can talk about this as well. So we've basically seen a lot of about this game from videos and stuff, and if you have, you can pretty much tell instantly whether this is your kind of game or not. You just float around with you're the wind, and you control the wind, and you sort of float around as this like stream of petals. You fly through flowers, and they sort of affect the landscape. It's very pretty, very soothing. There's not a huge amount of stress related to it. It's very, very easy to get into, very, very easy to finish. It only takes about an hour and a half or so to get all the way to the end. But in the end, it's a pretty good experience. So I'm quite glad I didn't pay for it, I have to say. I think it's good for what it is, but I don't think I would have paid $10 for this. Sunflower, how do you feel about it, seeing as you actually paid for it?
Well, I was told before getting the game, it's like an experience, man. It's like this totally, it's like if you were on drugs, if you'd done this. And what I found really interesting is, my friend Blue was over here yesterday, and I had her play it. I was like, okay, because I was curious, she knows nothing about the game. I thought I'd put it in front of her and give her the controller and say, just play, and see if she'd enjoy it or not, because from what people had been saying, this will appeal to everybody. She thought it was the biggest load of shit in the world.
Really?
So I touch a flower and I get more petals. Yeah. How do I see the whole thing? You turn around and you can see the back of it.
Now,
is that the only way? Yeah. So where do I go? Wherever you want. I don't want to go wherever I want. Is there somewhere I have to go?
Where's the quest?
I'm like,
Fuck
sort
the quest.
of. Like, this is just a screensaver. I was like, what? Well,
that is true. I mean, people could argue that it's a tech demo or a screensaver or a Sony Bravia commercial because it's very colorful, very pretty. I think it's actually, on reflection, it probably is more than that. Than say, before I tried it out, I was like, okay, this might be a good way for a nice thing to have on my hard drive, where if I get home from a hard day at work, if I want to just unwind for a bit and relax, I can play this game for a bit. But to be honest, I don't really feel like going back to it again, because I mean, it was enjoyable whilst it lasted. But now that I've seen everything, and now there's a sort of very basic storyline sort of going through it, but now that I've seen part of it, I don't really feel the need to go back to it again. So I feel that it's not really a relaxing tool. It is very much an experience to go through.
And this game is controlled exclusively using 6-axis motion control.
Yeah, how does that work?
Any face button, any trigger, just blows wind and makes you go faster.
Makes you go forwards. Yeah.
And I pretty much ended up holding that down the entire time eventually. It got to that point,
Because you wanted to blow so much?
I apparently do. But what I would say on the bottom line is it was enjoyable. For $10, it's a bit steep. Try to find someone to share it if you can, because it really would have benefited from a demo, I think. But then again, I probably wouldn't have bought it, so maybe they did the right thing.
They sucked you in.
But I would say in a word, it is just overrated. Way overrated.
Yeah.
People that are calling it the second coming and this wonderful experience. There's emotion in the game. No, I'm sorry, you're full of shit. No.
It's like,
Yeah.
I think it kind of portrays that image of gaming as art, or it's, a painting that moves, something like that. Is that a little more accurate description of it, and people are reading a little too deep into that?
I mean, there is quite an obvious environmental message in it, especially when you get towards the end of the game, where it starts mixing things up and you have things other than just fields and flowers and trees, and you have, buildings and stuff, and it does do some interesting things, but at the end of the day, it's not exactly very subtle. It's like you are playing as flowers, and occasionally you will get rid of this horrible grey landscape and make it green again. It's fairly blunt in its message. So it's not exactly on the level of Braid of being ambiguous with its meaning.
Oh no, not even close.
It's not even close to that. So yeah, on overall I'd say it's definitely not bad, it's very well made, but it's probably a bit too expensive, and it's certainly, if you play through it, unless you want to go back and get trophies, which I imagine will probably defeat the point of this game as being relaxing if you set yourself these stringent goals that the trophies have on them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finish the level in 5 minutes.
You're probably not going to get more than like a movie's watching time out of playing it.
For $10.
No, definitely not. I mean, it took me about 2 hours, I want to say, or an hour and a half.
Yeah, something like that.
It was alright, but I'm curious how this would have done had it, how people would have received it if it had come out when someone dropped their ring. If it had come out when the PS3 had just been launched and had been on every PS3 owner's hard drive, if people would have...
Well, I mean, that's kind of what happened with Flow, wasn't it? Because that was on everyone's...
Yeah, I was going to say, what about this versus Flow?
It's made by the same people as Flow.
I had to buy it.
Yeah, it's kind of a different thing. Because I enjoyed Flow for what it was. I basically... when I had a few people around and we'd been out at an air show all day, we just came home and just vegged out in front of the sofa for like a couple of hours.
Well, there's more gameplay in Flow than in Flower.
I guess there is, because in Flow, if you get all the way down to the bottom, it then puts you back at the top with a different animal to use, and so if you go all the way down, you can see all these different shapes and stuff. But I suppose with Flower, you can collect these hidden flowers, the green ones, and they produce leaves on the little menu icon things, which are also flowers, that sort of thing. So there's still gameplay in there. It's not like this is a game that you can't beat, because you definitely can. I think that's almost its problem. In that, once you're done with it, you're pretty much done.
Well, and I also don't like how there's kind of like handhold sections where they will show you a nice path full of just one flower. It's basically saying go this direction. It kind of seemed at odds to me, apart from how the game was supposed to feel, which was just explore, pick up these flower petals. Instead, it was giving me a path to follow, and it just seemed... I
don't know. I think if you've been flying around for too long looking for the next bit of flowers that you had to fly through to get the landscape to change, if you've been flying around without knowing where to go, that would have been rather frustrating, and that would have gotten in the way of what the game is trying to do.
Yeah. I just have to say my bottom line is try it first, because it just wasn't the best thing in the world for me.
What about if it was cheaper? You'd probably be all over that, right?
If it was $5, I think that would definitely be worth it. I mean, the other game on the PSN that came out this week, which I've not had the chance to try, but I definitely want to, is Nobi Boy, and that's like a physics toy for $5, and that looks really cool. So for $5, you almost can't complain about anything.
You know what I heard about Nobi Boy?
What?
It's insane.
Well, yeah, but I hear that you don't progress to unlock towards things. Everybody's progress contributes towards unlocking new stages.
Yeah, it's basically everyone, their combined stretchingness combines to do this thing called Girl, which is stretching out to the heavens. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but
we'll find out.
We'll find out when I try next
week. Yeah, cool. Well, that's good for Flower. What else have you been playing, Jam?
I finished Mass Effect. Did not get to level 60. Boo. It's annoying. I think they actually designed it so that you can't get to level 60 in 2 playthroughs, and definitely not when my first playthrough I missed out a whole ton of stuff in terms of side quests, because the gap between 59 and 60 is like 3 times bigger than the other gaps, which is kind of annoying. But I'm going to put that back on the shelf, and I'll come back to that in
next
a year's time. Exactly.
Nice.
So excellent game. The ending for that is phenomenal, and everyone knows that who's played it. It's one of the best gaming endings.
Hell yes.
In a long time.
Hell yeah.
So totally awesome Mass Effect. The other thing I've been playing is the Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection, which in crazy North America land is called Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection.
Sugjus. Yes.
And it's a pretty good collection. You know, especially for me because I haven't played a ton of these games. In fact, very few of them I have even seen before. The main 3 Sonic games, I've only touched on them very briefly at someone else's house because I never had a Mega Drive. So that was cool to play for a bit. I like the way that it's presented. The emulation seems to be pretty robust. I'm not a big emulation guy, so I probably wouldn't notice that kind of thing. And to be honest, as long as it runs properly and better than the original Mega Drive games did, then it'll be fine. Because you guys know that over here, the Genesis or Mega Drive games, they actually ran slightly slower than over there. Because
that's
of the way
weird.
So, as you know, considering that originally in their native form, Mega Drive games didn't run as well as Genesis games, I think the fact that we basically have the same collection is good enough for me.
Good.
And so, they seem to work. It gives you a whole ton of options, like you can turn the weird smoothing thing on and off at any time during the game, and individually for different things. You can change the size of that the game takes up on the screen. By default, they're just in a little 4x3 box, but if you want, you can stretch it out to 16:9 or whatever you want. So a ton of options. You can save it on everything, and I've been playing a few games I've never played before, including Phantasy Star.
Yeah.
It makes it very easy to unlock stuff, because Phantasy Star is a Master System, so it's locked at the beginning.
Yeah.
But you can go to the extras menu and it'll tell you exactly what you need to do. And in that case, you had to defeat the first boss in Sonic 1, I think, something like that. And so once I did it, got into Phantasy Star, and I was actually impressed that it's quite simplistic, because obviously it's an 8-bit game. But once
16, sir. 16.
No, the Master System is 8-bit.
Oh, it's a Master...
Yeah. Phantasy Star 1 is on Master System.
Oh, stupid.
And it's pretty good. I was actually really impressed by it. It's very, very bare bones. It's very simplistic, but also very pure. There's very little story. The combat is all from first person, so you don't really see your character models on screen much. And the puzzles aren't too hard to solve, so it's actually quite a good way of getting into it. It's still hard as all balls if you go about it the wrong way, because you can very easily... Like the first time I left town, I walked into like a forest, met a creature who killed me in one hit. I was like, okay.
That's all right. That's how this is going to be.
and when you die, it dumps you all the way back to the main menu, and you have to start again. So like, okay, then I'll be trying this differently. So you have to be careful, but it's actually, because there's quite a large amount of randomness in the way the combat works, and it doesn't give you too many options in terms of what you can do. It's actually quite easy to get into. So I was impressed by that.
I'm so impressed with just the titles on here. There's over 50 games, and
it's really impressive.
I got it for $34. And the sad thing is that I spent $100 cash on Phantasy Star 4, which is in here.
Ooh.
So, essentially, oh well.
So yeah, I'm very pleased with the collection. It seems to work pretty well. Some games don't really work so well with the control stick as with the D-pad, and obviously the 360's D-pad is rather uncomfortable, which is unfortunate. But I've been discovering some hidden gems in here, like I'd never heard of Fatal Labyrinth, and I was just playing it to get the achievement to get to the 5th level. But I actually really like it. It's a really good game.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So that's pretty cool. I like the way that they've done that they tell you very, very clearly how to unlock stuff, and also obviously what the achievements are. It's very easy to tell what you have to get, which encourages you to play these games that you would otherwise not try. Like eSWAT, never heard of it, played it. It's not too bad, but I got the achievement for it, so at least I've tried it.
Exactly.
Bonanza Brothers.
Bonanza
totally
Bros.
Awesome.
Yeah,
it's an awesome little game. It's pretty bad.
I played a little Sonic 2 just for the nostalgia effect, and I also played a little Bonanza Brothers. Popped in.
Now, you need to play Comic Zone if you haven't played that.
Oh, I love
played
Comic Zone.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? It's awesome. It's so ahead of its time.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's also really hard. And that's the annoying thing. Maybe I just suck at some of these games, because like we were talking about before the show, I cannot get to the third level of Alien Storm without dying. I just cannot do it. It's impossible. Even
you gotta have that brawler instinct, man.
Jab,
really
jab.
annoying. It's a really irritating game.
It's I really, really love Beyond Oasis. I highly recommend you guys try that.
I
out.
haven't tried that yet.
Yeah.
And
I was also really happy. I didn't even know this, that Golden Axe Warrior is on here. Which is a Master System game. Master System game I actually had and it's a really good original Legend of Zelda clone.
It's sweet.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Well, that should be interesting for when I boot that one up.
And Golden Axe 3 I tested out. They have 2 new characters in there I didn't know about. There's like this desert cat, jungle cat thing. And then I was playing
with him to get to unlock Golden Axe Warrior. In fact, I was playing with him because you have to cast 10 magic or something.
Yeah.
Very, very easy. He's actually pretty good. I quite like the way that he controls.
But yeah, regardless, this has so many great games in it, as you've already heard, and we haven't even scratched the surface of it. I can't wait till you guys play Shining Force, and it's worth the $30 for what I paid for it, and I think everyone should own it because it's a little piece of history and awesome games in there, and it's a great value.
It's been prepared with love.
It has been prepared with Sonic.
Because they've got interviews, they've got artwork for everything.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff, man. They really went all out on
will
this.
love this too. It's like that easy 1,000 points for you, Swoops. But other than that, any other games that you wanted to note, Sun or Jam? On the Mega Drive collection?
God, why can't I think of them?
Because
Bonanza Brothers
is way too good.
I love Bonanza Brothers.
I've put like 4 hours into Phantasy Star now. I'm actually really getting into it.
I'm curious to see.
And the thing is that the cool thing is that even though occasionally you know that because it's a really hard game, occasionally you're going to lose some playtime. The fact that I went into it with the mindset of this is going to be an old school RPG, it actually doesn't bother me too much.
Well, just remember also that there's save states for every single game.
Yep. That is also very beneficial. Although Phantasy Star you can save at any time anyway, which is cool.
Yep.
Still.
Cool.
It really helped. The save states really helped me while I was trying to find a Chaos Emerald.
Yes.
Just save it right beforehand, and there you go.
It's tough.
Yeah,
Chaos Emeralds are tough to get. Getting Supersonic naturally is tough.
I believe it. I definitely believe it.
I always used the old cheat code to get Supersonic, and it was awesome.
I bet you that cheat code's still in here.
Well, that's the thing. On one of the games, I think it's Dr. Robotnik's Egg Machine. It still uses passwords, and you can look up a password to get to the last level.
Yeah.
Days of yore.
Anyways, that's a good segue. I think, Jam, that's all you've been doing. Sonny, how about you, other than the Mega Drive or Genesis collection? What have you been playing?
Unless Jam's been playing anything else. Nothing else?
Not really. I have Dawn of War sitting here, but because I've been at my parents' house.
Oh, it's taunting you, isn't it?
I know, it really is.
Speaking of Dawn of War.
I've been playing Dawn of War too.
So have I.
It's wonderful.
I don't know what else to say. It's probably
it's everything that I wanted it to be,
yeah.
And even more. Relic had talked a bunch about how they were going to change up real-time strategy with this one, and they were going to make it so you care about your squad mates and that they're important and all that. So what a lot of people figured was that it would turn out to be kind of like Warcraft 3, where you had heroes that would buffer your regular units and things like that. But it's not like that. Your heroes are your units, and each of them has their own personality, and they have made it so that I actually care about my people, and it worked. I mean, I don't want to see any of them die. I like them. They all have their own special strengths and abilities. It's just absolutely incredible what they've done with the single-player campaign, and you choose your own missions on what you want to go to. You can only go to so many in a day, and it's almost overwhelming how good it is.
It is. I was sitting there. I got a couple missions in. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do co-op because of a NAT error. But I was sitting there and I was like, wow. I was equipping my guys with stuff I had picked up on the field. I was leveling them up. I wanted to make them with different skills depending on how I wanted to use my tactics and stuff. And deciding what squad would drop in next. Picking what mission I wanted to do next. And it's overwhelming on how good this is. This is the best single player or co-op RTS I've ever played. It hands down, just the amount of how tight it is and the amount of extras they kind of put in, and between the levels and the loot and all that, it's amazing. Mind you, we've been playing the multiplayer beta so much, we are eager to play the single player campaign. The multiplayer will keep it around for so long because it's just so solid.
Speaking of which, have you had much chance to play the multiplayer, even though that we basically played
We
it before?
did.
We did, yeah.
When we couldn't get our campaign going, we got our friend Veritas, and we had a 3-on-3 ranked match, and it was a nail biter. It was awesome.
It was really good.
So good.
Now, I hear that there's only 7 maps. That doesn't sound like a lot.
You're right.
That's okay.
It doesn't. It doesn't, but...
it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
Well, you look at something like StarCraft, where every single person who's just playing for fun is always playing the same map, Big Game Hunters. I mean, that's just the way StarCraft works. But in Dawn of War, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really hurt by these lack of maps so much, but I mean,
there's
obviously
enough.
More would be better, but...
For me, there's enough, and the map doesn't matter all that much. It's I'm more inclined to try and figure out what I'm going to do to beat my opponent rather than focus on the amount of maps. Like, there's enough variety in the characters and the strategies and the tactics that the map is just the playing field. And yeah, like Sonny said, it would be nice if there were more, and I'm sure we'll get more eventually with map packs and stuff like that. But for now, there's enough.
I agree. It's just, I'd love to talk about it more, but I've had my time split really badly.
Between what's your other game?
Well, between Street Fighter 4, but
God.
Dawn of War 2, I'm really looking forward to talking about it with you, Jam, not just to you. It's killing inside.
Yeah, so. I will play it a whole ton next week.
Oh, man.
If I can fit it in with this hot new game, Phantasy Star, which I just found.
What's that for? The 16-bit Sega Master System?
Also, Halo 2 was just released.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so...
yeah, speaking of Street Fighter, what is this game? What
Street Fighter 4, it's finally appeared on consoles. It's been out in the arcades for a few months. Finally released for 360 and PS3. I have a copy of both.
Because you're an idiot.
Not because I'm an idiot. The PS3 one I'm going to send back to GameFly, because after playing it for a while, I realized I don't need 2 copies. I really don't.
Let's hear your journey first. Your journey of purchasing this game, because I have a pretty interesting one myself. So
it's been pretty. It's been driving me nuts. I've been looking around all day at work, and all I see is people talking about Street Fighter. Oh, it comes out tomorrow. This was on Monday, I believe it was. Was it Monday?
Yeah, it was Monday.
Monday, I was just going nuts. I was like, oh, I need this game. There's no way I'm going to find it. Tuesday rolls around and people start reporting, oh, GameStop called me. They got their shipment in. And I got to get it there. Nowhere else has it. So I'm like, I'm going all over the place trying to find a copy. So I ended up calling GameStop, and a lot of GameStops for people were saying, yeah, we got copies of Street Fighter 4. Did you pre-order? Someone says, no. They say, well, then we're not going to sell you any of our copies. Which is like,
it's such a kick in the balls.
But the GameStop I called that was nearest to me, I said, hey, do you guys have any, copies of Street Fighter 4 for someone who didn't pre-order? They go, didn't pre-order? Well, we didn't even get any copies. It sucks, believe me. I'm like, oh, God. So eventually Wednesday I did end up finding it at Best Buy.
Nice.
It was like, work has been so tough to get through knowing that I need to go home and play this. I've got over 20 hours of game time.
Gnashing at the bit at work. Just talking to you, you're just like, all right, see you guys, I'm out of here. And just like, it was painful to hear your British friends playing it and you not playing it.
Everything. It's so rough.
Let's get into the game, though. How is it for you?
I originally thought that I mean, when I first started up, I was like, oh, the art style, I've seen it before, but I hadn't really seen it in motion all that much. Even though I am a fighting game fan, there are no arcades near me, period. Like, even close, so I haven't ever been able to go to one to play this game. But seeing it in motion, I was like, this is kind of weird. The characters felt kind of sticky, but I've acclimated to it, and I can say this game performs. It's just wonderful. It's as good as Street Fighter 3. Like, it's on the same level, which makes me really happy. There are new attacks that you can use. Not really so much in the way of new special moves, but there's new kind of fundamental attacks, like the focus attack. And then you can focus attack, dash cancel, which is really awesome. But that's a little bit more advanced.
Jam's like, what the hell are you talking about?
Focus attack, dash cancel. Whoa. But they have a really robust challenge mode, but there is a problem with the challenge mode. There's no way to view a demonstration of a combo. Or
I'm stuck. I'm stuck on challenge 4.
Because sometimes you think, oh, well, I'm not doing this combo properly. I have to do it faster. And the truth is you were supposed to do it a little bit slower,
Yeah.
So instead of when Sagat's knee starts going up, you hit the Tiger Genocide action. No, you wait until his second kick hits and then you do it. So it would have been nice to see that in challenge mode. It's not there. The game definitely does have its share of problems. It only has one-on-one
battles,
multiplayer
which should be
lobbies.
fixed soon.
And that's
I heard that they're patching tournament play into it, and it's
Yeah.
free.
yes, and you can save replays and things like that, which is going to be awesome.
And so yeah,
But I've been having a good time fighting people on Noobtoob. I mean, I fought Chip the other day. His Bison lost to my Zangief 11 times in a row. Yuzo's Vega fell to me a few times in a row.
Did what happened with Guile and Zangief? Could you remind me about that?
I don't remember exactly. That was a battle of the century.
I forgot. I think Guile's boots stomped on Zangief's face.
Either way, Gal's a pain in my ass.
Yeah, he is.
But Zangief is just a beast. I love playing as
He's
Zangief. I love
hilarious.
playing as the god.
Yeah,
It's great.
What about the new
pure betting
characters?
exists.
New characters. What do you think of them?
They're okay. They're not. I don't really hate many of them. El Fuerte, the luchador.
Such a disappointment.
Yeah, I really expected him to be either more entertaining or more interesting in some way. But
Not a
he's just
joke.
Annoying. Now, I haven't even fought anybody online who's picked him. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Probably out of every 25 matches I play online, 24 of them pick Ken.
It sucks.
It's ridiculous. People need to get off of Ken. Leave him alone. Try somebody else, please.
That's why,
Zangief will crush him. He'll crush him. That's all there is to it.
I have no problems with Ken.
Yeah, exactly.
I have so much practice. But regardless, yeah, I was also very excited for this game. I got worked up a little more than my usual self. I'm usually patient and able to wait. But Sunflower, you just got me worked up until I had to leave work and go grab the game. Except, apparently in Canada, they ship it on dog sleds or flying moose or something. And it was a day later than the release date. So this was Wednesday.
Reindeer.
Yeah, and this was Wednesday. I left work, called like 10 to 15 different stores, from EB Games to Walmart to Best Buy to Future Shop, everything that's out here. And then I called this CD store that Game Shark actually works at, HMV. The chain he works at. And they said, yeah, we got like 50 copies. So I ran there, went to get the game, and I forgot my wallet at home.
Ooh.
So I raced home, came back, and I picked up my game finally, and I was so excited. And that I also that's where I bought the Genesis collection, and I found Armored Core 4 Answer for $15, so I got that too.
That's cool.
But regardless,
good deal for it.
Street Fighter 4. Wow. The game looks great. I had the same issues too with the characters feeling sluggish, but you do adapt to that. Even with the jumps, and a couple of the moves got tweaked just from me playing a lot of Street Fighter 2. But once you figure out all the ranges and stuff, it's great. If you aren't used to that sort of thing, it's not going to matter. So if you're new to the game, or if you're a new fighter, it's going to be all new to you, and it's going to feel pretty good. I like the fighting mechanics. I like the art. I like the new moves. And I don't really have any complaints other than the technical side of where's my fight lobby, where's my tournament mode that's coming. I'm fighting one-on-one is fine, but I've just been so used to being able to have a group of friends. You just keep doing King's Court and swapping in and out. So I really look forward to that being in there, hopefully. Extras are great in this too. You got these little flavor titles that you earn as you go. You can go
the titles and your personal icon.
They're hilarious. So you can go anywhere from Love Missionary to character-specific ones, like Guile is Air Slicer or Gotta Love That Hair. I know Sonny had Check Out My Muscles on there.
Check Out My Muscles. That's the Zangief one when you complete all of his move challenges on normal.
That's right.
Check Out My Muscles.
And then, the icons are cool. So some extras in there to keep you going, and the challenges are tough. Like, I can't even do Guile's level 4 challenge. It's tough for me. The end boss, Seth, he's a pain in the ass, but just everything is in there to keep you practicing. But I do recommend getting a special controller for this if you want to take this game seriously. As my 360, I've dubbed it my Street Fighter controller now. It's now... The controller is mush. The D-pad, I've mushed it up because I charge so much and just the amount of abuse I put into it, I really need to find myself a stick. And again, Canada is low on supply. But on this end of things, big thumbs up for me for Street Fighter.
Huge thumbs up for me. This is definitely fighting game perfection.
Yep.
Everybody who has even a passing interest in this owes it to themselves to get this game. It is awesome. It's everything I ever wanted it to be. And fighting game fans love it as well.
And a lot of people are asking, well, I'm not into fighters. Should I get this so I can play with everyone else? And how would you answer that?
Wait for the tournament patch.
Just wait for that, and then
once that comes out, we'll be able to tell if this can survive solely on multiplayer for people who are not hardcore fans like myself.
And what I've been recommending right now is say, if you want to invest a little bit of money, try the SF2, see how that plays for you, and if you like that, if that catches you, definitely upgrade to this.
But this is just so incredible.
It's a complete fighting package. It really is. It's everything's there, aside from the stuff I mentioned. Now, Jam, we were talking a little bit. I was like, Jam, you got to check this out. $60 or whatever, 40 quid, whatever your currency is over there. But
18 euro.
What are your thoughts, man? How are you feeling about this?
It sounds tempting. I do have a lot on my plate at the moment. I'll probably get it eventually because it sounds, from what I've heard, this is almost along the same type of cultural watershed that the original Street Fighter 2 is, and it'd be very, very useful for me to basically get in on the ground floor at the same time as everyone else.
But don't
start
wait.
Learning, start doing stuff, find the character that I actually like and that sort of thing. Because so far, I've really never used anyone beyond Ryu and Ken in just any kind of Street Fighter. So I feel like I need to get my own personality for Street Fighter.
They have this guy in the game named Rufus.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Morbidly obese, and his belly jiggles
He
unnaturally.
does not belong.
And they give him a happy trail that he shows off, which is disgusting.
Goodness.
He's horrible.
I really like
Rufus.
Abel, the French man. I like
Yeah,
him.
he's really cool.
For a new character. El Fuerte, whatever. Rose is pretty cool, the wizard. Sakura.
ShamWow. You call her ShamWow.
ShamWow, yeah. She's ShamWow.
She carries a ShamWow with her.
And with her special, she electrocutes you with her ShamWow.
The ShamWow, it absorbs up to 16 times its size.
Exactly.
And Crimson Viper.
Sakura's alright. Dan
Yeah,
is,
Crimson Viper's really cool.
I like Crimson Viper as well.
My problem is she doesn't fit my fighting style, which sucks because I would like to learn her and be really good with her.
It's weird, eh? She has this kind of hybrid of ranged, aerial sort of juggling. She's interesting, though. She'd be definitely someone to kind of practice with.
Earlier, when I was talking about Flower, I said that my friend Blue had come over. We played some Street Fighter 4 locally, and she had picked Cammy, and she said, that poor girl has put on her swimsuit backwards. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Oh my God. And I still have to unlock a couple of the other guys, like Gouken and Akuma, although I hate Akuma. But yeah, big thumbs up. Street Fighter's great. There's going to be tons of people playing around Noobtoob, which is of all varying sizes and levels and everything. So if you're intimidated by us, quote-unquote, experts, don't be, because there's always going to be someone to play with that's your skill level, and playing against someone that's better than you is going to make you better. That's all I have to say about that. So yeah, grab it. I think we're going to be playing this for a real long time.
I know I will.
I don't know how many hours. I've already played probably like 20 hours.
Okay, moving along.
Moving this train along.
At this point, you should know that we want you to buy Street Fighter.
Yes.
Next
Last
up,
game you've been doing?
I'm still playing Chrono Trigger on
How's
the
that
DS. It's getting better and better. I love it. I
Well,
love
what's
the game.
making it
Very
better?
good.
Characters, stories.
Some of the places I'm going. I don't want
Oh.
to ruin anything, but it's really I like it. I like
I
it
was
so much.
just curious because it's pretty standard RPG, but that's cool.
Well, it may be standard, but like I said last week, it holds up really well, and I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Well, standard isn't necessarily a bad word. Chrono Trigger is awesome. It's I'm just curious to see what you're enjoying about it, but definitely the places you travel. Oh, the places you'll go. It is
And the things I will do.
That's right. All right, so that's it for you. I'll go through a couple things that I haven't talked about already. We hit Dawn of War, Street Fighter, Genesis Collection. I sat down with Tomb Raider Legend last week, I think, just after the show, and I beat it in one sitting.
Wow. How long?
I haven't done that since Crackdown.
I stopped to eat.
Wait, you played? Sorry to interrupt. Like, you played Crackdown non-stop and went all the way through and finished it?
Well, here's the thing: we had an Iron Gamer Challenge going on. I was off work that day. I got it really early in the morning, and before I knew it, it was like 7 p.m. and I was near the end. And I said, you know what? Why not? Polished it off in a day.
Yeah. I did the same thing. I was like, I have this game I got for $5. I just need to play it. I just need to play it. And this is me coming off of Fallout 3, so I just wanted something different. So I played it, and the game, mind you, I haven't played a Tomb Raider in like 10 years, so this game looked great for what it was. I loved it. It looked awesome. The camera, that sucked, as always. I forgot that the camera was so bad in Tomb Raider.
Isn't it nuts that we've played games that were in 3D that didn't have a second analog stick for camera control?
It's like,
I can't even imagine dealing with that nowadays. Like,
I know.
Super Mario 64? What?
You like hit the R button, turn the camera
Mario
around.
64 would be the perfect platformer if it just had that second analog stick.
But yeah, it looked great. The combat, Jam, you can probably attest to this, but the combat is atrocious. Enemies will run at you.
It's just circle strafing and ridiculous.
I would rather have it not in there and just this be a pure puzzle platformer, but
yeah.
I guess that's what Lara Croft does. She jumps around with her double guns. Get it? And it's a double.
She has two penises.
Yes, she has two penises. And you just hold the trigger to shoot guys and they die, or various animals. And the combat's so
various animals. I liked how she killed endangered species.
Yeah, like a jaguar.
Yeah.
But the combat's so few and far between that it doesn't really affect it that much. What I did really like was the different. This is weird. The different environments, like they were so varied. And it was always a new place, and that kept you going. And it would take an hour to beat the level, and then you fly off to somewhere else for some reason of the story that I didn't really pay attention to. But it was cool. For $5, it can't go wrong. I wouldn't buy it for any more than 10. But regardless, it was a really fun game, and it got me excited for Tomb Raider Underworld. So whenever that goes cheap, I would like to play that. But the shining points were the puzzles were pretty good, and the environments and the graphics for the game. Bad points were the combat and the camera and the story. That was kind of weird and kind of just cookie cutter for Tomb Raider. But regardless, finished it, packaged its away. I actually traded it to a fellow Noobtuber for Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. So we'll see how that trade goes over. And that's almost it for me. One little mention of my PSP love for Castlevania X. I'm at the last boss of Rondo of Blood, and it's impossible, so I'm going to whine and bitch about how hard that is for the next week or so. Get on to a little...
Time to use your brain. Don't go insane. Try and think of the name, and you guess the game.
Charles, you dick. Anyway, Sunflower.
I wonder if anyone notices that he always interrupts us.
He's a dick. He sounds polite, but he is not. Last week's winner, we had Meteos 3 with Gauntlet.
He's a big fan of the game Meteos.
Yes. With the funny quote, "Someone shot to the food." And that happened when you actually hit the food and no one could eat it. So congratulations on that. You'll be put... I think we're going to start doing the Guess the Game draws now. So what we'll do is take all the winners for the month, put them into a draw, or month or two. We'll figure out what number works best. And we'll draw a name, and then I'll send them a nifty prize. I got prizes. I got different stuff. Maybe you'll get a game. Maybe you get a shirt. Maybe you get a poster. You never know. You never know here at the Modcast. We got lots of surprises. But this week... we got a clue. Sonny, do you want to do this, or should I?
You should do it.
Okay. This week's clue comes from the Dirty South. So let's hear it.
Turn around, boy. Let me see if I recognize you from prison.
All right, so there is your clue. Put your guess in the episode, Modcast episode 57 thread, which is in the UGC board. And, enter to win the new founded contest. And Mad Props, I kind of stole that idea from Cal Launcher. He's doing that with his Guess the Game, but I think it's such a good idea that the love can be spread around. Next up, we got everyone's newfangled favorite, Jam versus Locke.
Hey, it's Jam versus Locke.
Love that.
You guys ready?
I think so.
Well, it depends.
Jam, are you ready?
What is it? What have you got for us this week, Mr. Sunflower?
I have an episode of Locke versus Jam.
Mm-hmm.
And in this episode, there are 51 choices. 51 answers you could give. The question is, you need to name enemies from Super Mario World.
Whoa.
Go. Jam.
Okay. Goombas.
Goombas?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are they in that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh. Is there Lakitu?
I'm sorry?
Lakitu, the dude in the cloud.
Lakitu, yes. I thought you said Licky-too.
No, Lakitu.
I said Lakitu as well.
What? You guys are weird. It's Lakitu.
Booze.
I'm drunk. Okay. Boo.
Big Boo.
Oh, Big Boo. You got the booze, you got the Big Boo.
Bob-ombs.
All right.
What's
Very
that?
good. Bob-ombs?
Oh,
those are the
bombs.
little
Yeah.
clockwork.
Bullet Bill.
Okay, good job. Actually,
Banzai
no.
Bill.
Yeah.
Banzai
Bullet-
Bonsai Bill?
Yeah.
I thought you would accept it. Never mind.
I will
Pulling it.
now. Okay, Locke, go again. God, you guys are screwing with me.
What about Chomps?
I don't see any chumps.
What?
I don't see chumps on this list I got. Are they in there?
I don't know. I'm just throwing out Mario guys. I don't know.
You gotta be careful though, because this is Mario World. It's not on this list. If Chain Chomps are in this one, which I honestly don't remember them till Mario 64.
I don't think they're in there either.
Yeah. Try again, Locke.
Fine.
Sorry.
Jesus, Koopa.
Who's Koopa? What?
The
What was-
dude with Shell. I know he's
Koopa.
in there.
I'm having trouble hearing. I don't know what to say.
Koopa.
I'm a deaf, dumb, and blind piece of shit. Okay, a Koopa. Gotcha.
A paratrooper.
Okay.
God damn it. Pokey.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's a good one. Hammer Bros.
Fuck.
Yes and no. You
Why?
have the amazing flying Hammer Brother.
Well, that's close enough.
Yeah,
You gave me another chance. Dry Bones.
Okay, good.
Ah, son of a bitch. Okay.
Pick this favorite. I always have liked Dry Bones.
That's a good one. Yeah. No.
The thing is, I'm sure you can envision almost all of these
yeah,
guys.
but you don't know what they're called. Oh, Thwomps.
Oh,
very
nice. Buzzy Beetle.
Yes.
He's like the little the guy you can't shoot fireballs at.
Yeah, the bulletproof guy. Yeah, you're right so far. I can envision a couple more, but I cannot remember what they're called.
Do bosses count?
No.
Oh.
These are just standard enemies.
Because all the Koopa kids are in the game as well.
Yeah, we don't want Ludwig.
Yeah.
Bowser.
Oh, piranha plants.
Ah, good.
Oh.
Very good.
Shit. There are those bats in the cave.
Those bats.
Shit.
I don't even know what they're called. I'm looking here at the list and I can't pick it out.
And there's, I can see the, like, there's the bats, there's that fish.
There's a couple I'm surprised you guys haven't got.
How about, like, mole. The mole. What's his name?
The mole?
Mole. Moley. I'll call him Moley.
There's two moles, and they both have different names.
Moley.
No.
Fuck. Yeah, I don't know.
You give?
Yeah, but in order to win, doesn't Jam have to say one? And best me?
Although I did go first.
Oh, that's true.
How have I
Fine.
messed the scripts up so bad?
I can
don't
do that
know
anyway.
anymore. I submit defeat.
The fish, I believe, is called Blooper, and the little one's called Cheep Cheeps, aren't they?
Oh, well, why don't you just kick me in when I'm down?
Neither one of those are in Super Mario World.
Really? Oh.
Not the ones you're thinking of. Blooper is the little jellyfish. Or not
Oh, yeah, that's right. And
Kinda.
the fish are Cheep Cheeps, aren't they?
Yes.
Are
And
they
they
not
are.
very well? I didn't
No,
know.
they are in there. They are. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay.
What else was there that we missed?
A couple surprising ones to me. One of you guessed Thwomp. Nobody got the little ones, the Thwimps.
Oh, give me a break.
Nobody guessed Wiggler.
What's that?
Wiggler's
it's the
that,
caterpillar.
yeah, with the flower on its head.
Oh, that
yeah.
gets pissed off.
The moles that you were asking about, there's Mega Mole, and then there's Monty Mole.
Oh, brutal.
I know.
Idiot.
There was the Goombas that you got, Fishbone. One of the fish you were thinking of was Rip Van Fish, the sleeping one.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty cute. There were also some really stupid ones on this list, like the Ball and Chain, which is just a ball and a chain.
What about those guys with football helmets?
That is Charge and Chuck. Charge and Chuck. So there's a lot of different things. Actually, I'm sorry, Jam, there is no Cheep Cheep in this one. It's a blurp. You're right.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a
Well,
bitch. Yeah.
Jam, you are
How you doing?
the Mario expert. Congratulations on your win.
Apparently so.
No Dino Rhinos or Dino Torch?
I don't remember that. I forgot.
You see, I knew that the dinosaurs were in it, but I thought they were boss characters because you only ever fight them on like that weird reel thing.
Oh no, I'm talking about the kind of like turquoise colored ones.
Well, there's the ones that you can hit like into a pancake.
Yeah, those are the ones.
No, the other one, they were like T-Rexes with wings. The Dino Torches were like little Triceratops. Obviously, you don't play Mario at a competitive level.
Well, nobody got Fishin' Boo either.
Fishin'
It shows up
Boo.
once, or the Fishin' Lakitu, which I also would have taken. But there's, jumping piranha plants and all sorts of really stupid technical ones. The Magic Koopas.
Ugh.
Ninja is somehow in there.
Oh, well. Anyways, next week I'll be hosting. Jam will take on Sunflower at my bidding. Let's get it on with some news.
Fine.
I'm sorry, were you not done naming the rest of every cast member from
Those
Mario?
bats you were thinking about are called swoopers, and they're actually birds, which is weird.
Okay.
There's Torpedo Ted.
This just
Anyway,
Torpedo Ted.
it's just in. I need to shut my mouth because the segment's over.
Jam, what does Codemasters give us?
Codemasters revealed the release windows for 3 of their upcoming games this week. Dirt 2 is going to be in September. Fuel is going to be in May. Overlord 2 is going to be in June. I'm quite looking forward to that. Operation Flashpoint, Dragon Rising is going to be in the summer, and Jumpgate Evolution is going to be in June.
Nice. Definitely looking forward to Overlord.
Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to Fuel as well, although the joystick's hands-on of that this week is not too promising.
Fuel's
Fuel
that
is
one kind of open world racing one?
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like it's a cross between Burnout Paradise and MotorStorm.
Yeah, that was in February's Edge. That looked amazing.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool, but apparently it's not playing so well. But we'll see. No,
We'll
it's
see.
not out yet.
Cool. Sonny, Dawn of War 2 patch.
There was a patch for Dawn of War 2.
And what did it do? Because
It
I
did
know
a
you
few-
suffered from this.
I did suffer from this. It loaded up and it helps out those of you who are running 32-bit Windows Vista. It crashed a lot. It
You mean
crashed
like
often.
you and me? Because we were
Yes,
yeah.
like both of us. I would complete a campaign mission and it would crash, but it would have saved beforehand, which
Yeah.
was nice. But
Still a
now
pain
it-
in the ass.
now it shouldn't do that with high or ultra graphics settings. And since I am high and ultra, I'm okay.
And hopefully we can get that NAT error fixed, because it hurts my heart. Also, the PAX registration has opened for PAX 2009, so a heads up on that. And I know that they are limiting the numbers this year. 3-day passes in advance are $50. So if you want to go, I'd say get them sooner than later, because you never know. They might shut the doors at like 50,000 people.
Tough to say.
You can meet the Modcast at PAX in our room. Everywhere on the town. It's your chance. Get your picture taken. I don't know what that means. I'm just looking forward to seeing everybody.
Onwards.
Onwards we charge.
Is that it for the news? That's all we got?
That's all we got. We've been playing too many games.
Yeah, it's pretty slow news week.
This just in. Street Fighter's good. This Week in Gaming. Let's get a jingle for that. Someone out there make a This Week in Gaming jingle.
Oh, but Mixed Up Zombies already did.
Where is it? Did you tweak it yet?
That's a question for Jam.
Jam?
Hmm?
Did you finish the jingle for Twig?
No, I did not.
Okay, we'll get that in.
Do we still want to keep it a secret what we're going to do to it?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyways, This Week in Gaming. What do we got, Jam?
Well, after last week's big hitters, we have only a couple of fairly interesting titles. On the 20th of February 1990, Altered Beast for the Sega Genesis came out. I played
that
a little bit this weekend, and this is not a good game.
Me too, and I agree.
Yeah,
I own this cartridge.
It's got cool digitized voices in it, considering the it plays so badly. It's really annoying.
Rise from your grave.
Yeah. Welcome to your doom. Yeah. So aside from that, it's not got a lot going for it. It's kind of an annoying game to play. But the other game. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say that the only saving grace was the different transformations. You got the bear and the tiger and the dragon, and then the super wolf.
I thought I turned into a werewolf. Oh, okay.
You do, but each level is different, right?
Oh,
yeah.
I did not know.
If you got past the first level,
yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't blame them.
all you have to do is tap B.
For it.
Anyways,
yeah, there was an achievement for it.
A much better game.
A much better game, which actually came with my first computer to demonstrate the wonderful CD-ROM technology, MechWarrior 2, which is actually a really solid title.
That's
great
so weird.
game.
Because did you get this on a demo disc?
Yeah, I did.
I got this on a demo disc, and I played the hell out of it. It was like one mission. I was like, I love this game. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it was in an Arctic area as well.
Yeah.
I remember if you put in the demo, then you put in an audio CD, it would play track 3 every time. And that was hot shit at the time.
Well, play track 3. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
I actually had the full version of this, which came free with the computer I had.
Oh, nice.
But it was also pretty good. I remember that even though I had the full version of the game for ages, I thought that it was broken, that I could only get the first level, until I realized that I had accidentally turned invulnerability on, which prevented me from progressing further in the game. So I ended up playing an awful lot of the trials bit in the middle, which is, just skirmish missions without really getting into the story. But even so, that was really cool. I can still, if you put it in front of me, the list of mechs from MechWarrior 2, I will still be able to tell you which ones do and don't belong, because when you're cycling through the menu, the computer voice sort of reads them out to us, like Kit, Jade, Fox, Falcon, except those are the names of the factions, you know what I mean. Yeah. And I'd instantly be able to tell if one of them was in the wrong place, because it's just ingrained so much in my memory.
Now this
I agree. I know the feeling.
MechWarrior 2 is a huge deal with the graphics, as well as kind of paving the way for the huge series of MechWarrior, because lots of people were crazy for MechWarrior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never played MechWarrior 3
I never played
or 4,
anything
though.
past the second one.
Yeah, and I don't know why that is. I really don't.
Because I like MechWarrior 2, but
yeah, it was great game.
But
Altered Beast, though.
Oh man, it's as a
Let's
kid.
hate on Altered Beast some more.
Yes, let's
oh my
shit
god,
on
this game is awful.
Well, I just remember it being on the back of my Genesis system box, and I was like, awesome, you get to be a wolf, and I was so stoked, but I never owned it until probably 5 years.
Weak.
Yeah. Well, no, I own the cartridge of Altered Beast, man. Like,
half.
Hey, I got a question for you guys about Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. Do you think the Retro Gaming Club could just make this required purchase and use this for everything?
Yes.
Could do.
For a while?
I think so. I think that's
Comic
a fair
Zone.
assumption.
All right. Anyway, I'm sorry. This is This Week in Gaming. This is not. Let's go back to what we
This is site news. Yeah, let's get back to it. Ultra Beast, shitty. Mech Warrior, awesome. I own Mech Warrior and Ultra Beast. Let's go on to some mailbag, guys. Das Mailbag. Let's get to Gaijin 319's question first, saying, "Hey boys, my 8-month-old Xbox 360 Elite console red ring today, only days after my Guitar Hero World drums decided to up and die. I was once asked about a rumor that went like this. In Japan, Microsoft sends someone to your house to pick up your Xbox box when it dies, takes it back to be repaired. At the time I was asked, I didn't know, but now I can confirm that the rumor is true. Someone's coming to pick up my Xbox on Tuesday. Doesn't ease my pain, though."
They get it back fast in Japan. I had a friend who had that happen to him, and the guy did come and pick it up. Yeah, pretty awesome.
Little man in a suit takes it to his truck and repairs it and gives it you back.
But he had it back like within a couple days. So at the time of this show, I'm sure you've already got your 360 back.
Definitely a sore spot is a red ring for me. But you got to look at it in a positive light. That gives you a chance to play all your PS2 games you haven't played, at least for me. But it all sucks, and I didn't know that the Elites could red ring. I thought they had like the new chip or something.
No,
weren't they talking about the fact that they're very slowly progressing through away from the ones which are going to do that, and that they're like there are still going to be some left out there who are liable to red ring, but the new ones aren't doing that.
Yeah, except the Elites came out before their Jasper chipset.
I see.
Okay.
So it's pretty much the same deal. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's getting kind of close for me because my Xbox will be 3 years old in September, and it's
Smash it with a hammer.
And it's out of warranty, and I'll have to pay like 40 quid to have it repaired.
Or you could get a new one that's not the Tard package. You could have that cool chrome disc tray.
That's right.
That's about it.
So that's weird, yeah. I hope you get your Xbox back. I think by the time he's sent that question in, he's already got it back, because that's an older question. And I played him Street Fighter already. So I think things are...
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, he's back in
It's actually an interesting question. Why do they put so much effort into customer service in Japan when very few people actually buy the console over there?
Well, I hear that in Japan, they are very big on customer service no matter what. If you go into a drugstore, you have people helping you instead of,
sitting there reading a fucking magazine.
Yeah, there's that as well.
Yeah.
Also, buying cars in Japan is different as well. It normally takes 2 weeks to a month to get a car purchased over there, and it's a big decision for a lot of people. So they have somebody.
It takes a bit of time over here as well.
Weird. I bought my car in
a
like
day.
4 hours.
Yeah.
I suppose it depends if you're buying a car that's already there or if you're having one made.
Yeah.
I've never had one made.
Okay. Then you're not special like me.
Anyways, next question. Digging it out of the mailbag. We got here from Babikis, my fellow game trading friend.
Babikis?
Babikis.
Isn't it Bobby Kiss?
Bobby Kiss? I always thought it was Bobby Kiss.
Hey, I'm the host. I get to pronounce anything I want.
You and your Eskimo lingo.
Lakitu and Babikis. Hey,
Sled
Modcast.
dog.
First off, I would like to just say, quiet you, that you guys are doing a great show, and I think it is something I look forward to every week. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. We love having more listeners. Here's my question. What games are you hoping come to the XBLA or PSN? Personally, I think Capcom should remake the original Power Stone a la Super Street Fighter 2 HD Remix. It was one of my favorite games for the Dreamcast, and one of the games I play most on my PSP. Thanks. Power Stone. That's a good choice. How about you guys? Anything you want to see on the XBLA or PSN?
I'm actually surprised it hasn't already come out. Space Invaders Extreme would work really well on XBLA.
Yeah, and you know
Space
what else?
Invaders Extreme 2 is slated to come out for it, I believe.
Well, there we go then.
Hell yes.
You know what is coming out to XBLA? Darwinia. That's gonna be weird.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it actually would work pretty well.
I know. It's gonna be awesome. I don't know. Gunstar Heroes.
Grand Theft Auto 1.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would actually be a really good idea.
That would sell really good.
Yeah.
If you could put multiplayer in it and, have everyone charging around the city blowing shit up, that would be really cool.
It sounds strange, but I'd like to see more DS games also come out on XBLA.
Well, Advance Wars would be nice on XBLA. But I guess that's coming from me, who I'm in the minority of not having a DS. So, what about on the PSN? Anything unique to that?
I mean,
it would be nice
both
to have
of them apply to me.
Yeah,
more than the 7 PS1 games that we have on the PSN.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't have many either, but Japan has tons.
I know.
What about? I want to see stuff like more board games like Carcassonne and Settlers for sure, because it's personally I own a lot of board games, but sometimes it's logistically tough to get everyone together all at once, and when you have those online, it's a little easier. So stuff like I would love to see. My favorite board game right now is Agricola or. Puerto Rico would be great on there. I know this is, if you guys haven't heard of these, it won't mean anything to you, but those are two of the best board games out there. I'd love to see some of those on there. Stuff like Zombies or Munchkins, anything like that would be a lot of fun on XBLA, because you could sell them for cheap and lots of people would buy them and play them. But more board games.
I'd quite like to see something along the lines of Sacred 2, but a much smaller game. Things where you can just all party up together and hack your way through a dungeon, collect
Arcadian Warriors was supposed to be that game.
Was it really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Isn't Sacred coming to the Xbox?
Sacred 2. Yeah.
Cat, don't eat my microphone cord, are you crazy? Get back here.
I hope that gives you a good idea about Biki's Babakis.
Babakis. Babikis. I hope it's Babikis.
I hope so too. But yeah, more board games. That's what I give you. Sonny wants some other stuff. Jam wants
some other stuff.
Tiddlywinks.
Yes, Tiddlywinks.
Croquet, Tiddlywinks. I want a shuffleboard table.
Okay. You gotta bring.
Imagine how much that would be. That would be so weird. Shuffleboard.
Oh, you could have Avatar integration. It would be awesome.
If they could do darts with the Xbox Vision Cam somehow. No, there's no way it would work.
Wii?
Throw things at your TV.
It wouldn't work. I don't know. There's some crazy stuff that would be awesome. Share your shopping list.
Yes, let's put it in the thread for this question. What your best arcade game would be on the PSN or XBLA, and how much you would charge for it?
The original Pong.
Yes. Pong. No, Pong HD Remix.
Pong HD, the sharpest edges you'll ever see.
You could have different backgrounds.
I think you could do a ton of stuff with Pong, because it's a very simple concept, but you could have all kinds of power-ups and stuff like that.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how much extreme Pong would sell.
Players. Yeah.
Look at Pac-Man. Pac-Man sold tons, and it's
but
a great
you said
game.
Batman. And
yes, Batman. I would like Batman 1.
Yeah, there's a lot of different Batman.
Batman for the SNES. Anyways, I'm going to
Batman for the 360. My name's Batman. Sorry.
I'm going to do the next question. It's from Little G.
Please
or Little Egg.
Little Egg.
Little Egg. Instead of an essay, he's going to try and keep it short this time. Hey, we got time. Do you guys consider yourselves gaming generalists or specialists? You seem to play a lot of games from several different genres, but is there a particular game type or even a single game that you always go back to, that you have put a lot of time into, and consider yourself to be a dedicated fan? Speaking personally, I've gone through phases where I've played Gran Turismo and almost nothing else, but these days I try and spread out the net a bit wider to sample some of the other excellent games out there. Nearly done. Finally, do you ever feel frustrated that there's so many great games out there and so little time? Hello this week. It's so easy to miss out on games that you're getting released at the minute, let alone the classics that you missed out on when they first came out. Thanks for answering this question. Keep up the good work, etc., etc., etc. This is a question I've been wanting to answer for a long time, but I'll let you guys tackle it first. Part one, gaming generals or specialists. How do you guys feel? Jam?
I'm pretty generalized. I think you know that. There's nothing I've really gotten very hardcore into before. I suppose my strongest suit would probably be arcade racers, but to be honest, I don't really play that many arcade racers anyway. Like, I like Burnout a lot, but I've never really played Need for Speed or any of those others. So I think overall I flip from one to the other, and I might go through phases where I like certain games more than others. Like at the moment, I'm experiencing a resurgence in those dungeon hacks I was just referring to, because I'm playing Diablo 2 every week. I'm looking forward to Sacred 2 on the 360,
Titan
and
Quest.
we are trying to get Titan Quest in. Exactly.
Hopefully this week, Titan Quest.
So I think I'm a generalist. I'm not really specialized in any one particular thing.
Sonny, how about you?
I hold a soft spot in my heart, and I will always go back to 2D fighters and brawlers.
Of course.
But I try to play everything. I try.
You get a lot of games in.
I can't conquer my addiction.
About you?
Me, personally, definitely a generalist. I think all
shitty ass puzzle games that I hate.
No. We do have games that we don't like. But
I hate puzzles so much.
But the thing is, the one thing that the Modcast has that I really like is between the three of us, we have such a breadth of video game taste, and we like almost everything, so we can comment on everything, and maybe we have a bit more of a bias, but I like to think of it that we give games a chance. And Sunflower, you had a great title, The Patron Saint of Failed Games. But I like the ability to do that with our podcast and have listeners say, oh yeah, or take a second look at something that they wouldn't normally do. On other podcasts I listen to, a lot of the hosts are like, fuck that, I don't like first-person shooters, fucking stupid game. Whereas, and they could say that about anything, about Halo or about Half-Life or about Killzone or Fear. They already have this ingrained bias, and I'm not ragging on their show. I'm just saying that I really enjoy that we have this ability to analyze any game for what it is, and not in that we like it because it's a great fighter. For Street Fighter 4, like Sonny loves fighting games, but if he wasn't a fighting fan, he can still say that it's a great game because of X, Y, and Z. And that's where I'm coming from as a generalist. I really like if you look at our game collections, I go anywhere from Halo to Gears to Concept freaking Saga, Guitar Hero. Like, there's so many different genres, and I think that's one advantage that the Modcast has. So I'm really glad that Little Egg answered this or asked this question, because I've been dying to answer it and say that, do you guys agree with me that we do have this kind of extra edge over other podcasts because we don't have a certain bias other than Sunflower's puzzle game bias?
Braid pissed me off. You sure we're better than those others for that reason? I hate that shit. I hate puzzles. God, I hate puzzles.
Yeah, but you play so many different types of games. Like, it's not that you just hate puzzle games, period. You've played other puzzle games that you enjoy.
Kind of. Picross is good.
Exactly.
But that's... I don't know.
Do you think that's limiting you?
Yeah, I think that I would really enjoy Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass, or not Phantom Hourglass, whatever the one came out for on Wii and GameCube. Twilight Princess. I think I'd enjoy that, but I know there's going to be those stupid ass puzzles where you have to stand on a plate and wait for something to happen. Oh, it just makes me never, ever want to play.
So you don't want to touch... Well, like, I'm saying that with Twilight Princess, that would ruin the game for you. It's just those dungeons.
Yes. It's to the point where that's where I will stop. That's where I will say...
Then my argument is flawed. Because we have a saboteur on the Modcast. No.
And I hate racing games.
Okay. Well, then ignore the last 5 minutes of my
I do. You're British, therefore I hate racing against you.
That's different.
All you do is watch Top Gear.
You hate racing against Jam. You don't hate racing games.
I hate...
You like Burnout. I can go back to the show and you say, this game is beautiful, I love Burnout, I love playing this.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, single player.
Oh my god. Alright.
But then you had those multiple challenges where Jam would say, what you have to do is you have to hit this ramp at a certain angle, and I'd screw it up and Jam would get angry and kick me out of the game.
Okay, if we're gonna
maybe not, but he would.
Okay, if we're gonna take this turn and totally skew my argument, what game does Jam not like then? What style of game does Jam not like?
Oh, where can we start? Remember Chrome Hounds?
Customization.
That's not a genre of game. That's just a bad game. We were talking about.
No. We've got Spore and Chrome Hounds. Games about creation.
Games about creation.
Jam is not a maker; he's a user.
I enjoyed the creation part of Chrome Hands. I hated now you're dead, so you have to walk for fucking ages across this giant map as a guy who can't do anything.
You know what? It would be worse if you were in a real war. And you got blown up. I don't know what to say. I wish there was something else you could do, like maybe find a Jeep. But
okay.
I think that creation games, Jam.
Okay, well then, I because I can't notice this in myself, and I ask myself sometimes, like, I don't hate enough games. Can you guys? What games don't I like? What have I said? What have you noticed? Am I too nice on games?
I don't think you. I don't know, Jam. What do you?
I can't remember.
That's a hard question.
I haven't really noticed you hating on anything unnecessarily.
I remember what you love, not what you hate.
I know. That's why I said we have a nice generalist aspect to us, because I remember everything we love. But you
still haven't rented Too Human.
This is true.
Should we go to the next question? That's a pretty good question,
I guess.
I'm
just still flabbergasted at the sign. I think I'm not critical enough. Maybe I need to be more critical in my gaming analysis.
Well, see, Braid was a game that was completely full of shit. Because, all right, I don't have any argument.
That's right.
All right.
And then for the second part of the question, yeah, I do feel frustrated. There's too much games out at once all the time. But that's not necessarily a good thing. You can pick and choose. I just grab everything I can and put it on the shelf, because I'll get time eventually. Okay, enough of that. I'm all sweaty.
Next.
I'm all sweaty. Is there, again, this is from Ash Gooner, fellow mod, is there a gameplay element which, when done well, can make you look past poorer aspects of the game? For example, mine would be an engaging and immersive story. Some of my favorite games are RPGs, which include KOTOR, Mass Effect, and Fallout 3, but these games had obvious flaws. I found the combat in all three to be far from perfect, for example, but it's the desire to uncover more of the story that keeps me going. Another question, which is linked to my original question, does it take much for you to put down a game and never play it again? I find myself to be very quick to dismiss a game, and if I can't look past the obvious flaws, do you guys give a game more time, or even set yourself a certain amount of time before you put it down?
What? Huh? What was the first question then?
First question is, can you look past the game's flaws?
Okay, first off, I want to say, Ash, you provided an inappropriate example. Good storytelling is not a gameplay element.
That's good storytelling.
That's good storytelling. A gameplay element for me would be something stupid, and this is something dumb that I like, that when I find a game that gives me a little bit more of an enjoyment to it, and sadly it appeared in Too Human, but it's finding unique little weapons that have cool names to them. Like,
that's fair enough.
I've got the big-ass, heavy buckled boots of Self-Despair, +5. Nice. I like that crap. It sucks, but I like it.
You know what? You know what has that, kind of, but different? Sorry. This is a tangent. But Dawn of War 2, sorry to be going back to this.
Yeah, it does.
As you play the missions, if you do it, like, fast and kill a lot of guys, you'll get one certain title building up. But if you do it really defensively and don't let your guys get killed, that also builds up a meter, and that determines your title at the top of your screen. So right now, because I've been like whooping through characters and just like sending my guys into the fray and getting levels done really quickly and killing a lot of guys, I'm a Knight of Vengeance, but my guys always get slaughtered, so I'm not really like a Paladin of Vengeance. Anyways, I just thought I'd throw that in there. In terms of a gameplay element that you can look past, Sonny likes the weapons with names on them, like the
I do.
The jagged sawtooth axe of beheading. How about you, Jam? What do you like in a game that allows you to look past
cars?
I like to have a sort of meter or XP or something ticking up every time I play, so that no matter what I do, no matter how small amount of time I play, I've made some progress towards a greater goal.
A reward system. I love it. That is like Jam likes a carrot dangled in front of his face that he can nibble on throughout the game.
It's like well, I was playing Phantasy Star, and even though it takes a very, very long time, and even though you're basically fighting the same enemies over and over again against the same background, and usually you're just hitting the attack button, because every time you do it, you get slightly better and you work your way closer to leveling up. And the fact that even as you level up, you still get exactly the same number of XP from all the different enemies. It's just that the amount of XP you need to level up increases. Means that no matter how small the fight, you're getting some tiny benefit from it. And that just digs into me. It's like, well, I fought these guys, even if they got in my way and I'm now lower health than I wanted to be, I can now head back to town and I'm better off than I was the last time I set out again to do a different adventure.
Definitely. For me, everyone knows mine. If you can dress up your dolls in a game, I love it.
That's a good thing.
If you can unlock different colors, different gear, anything that will change the appearance, and if it has an effect on your guy and gives you different abilities, awesome. If it doesn't, I don't care. I still like the different look. I'm a sucker for that. I will look past many, many things. Poor aiming system, poor anything. If you can have some sweet customization in there. But that's definitely my vice. I guess that counts as a gameplay element. Hey, customization, creation, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I can look at Spore and say, it's a sim and doesn't have the greatest gameplay, but because I can create my guy and send him off and have this little universe, I can look past that because I do love the creation aspect. And then just the second part, you guys, and I know, Sonny, you just had an example of this with Prince of Persia. How much time before you put a game down? And do you ever pick it up again?
Tough to say. Normally it's when I'm faced with a puzzle.
You are such a...
I'll be honest with you guys, I get faced with a shitty puzzle.
If I can't punch my way through it, I'm putting it down.
Pretty much. I've stopped playing. I'm looking at my gaming collection, and I stopped playing Oblivion because of a puzzle that I couldn't get past. No, I had beat the game. I was just working on the mage crap. There was a stupid-ass puzzle that I just couldn't deal with. Didn't want to cope with it. Screw you. Not going to be back for quite some time. I did not finish. There was a spot in Lost Odyssey that felt like a puzzle that I just got irritated and shut it off with. It's just, it's stuff like that just makes me...
It's okay.
Makes me prematurely
some people
halt
think
my progress.
Some people think with their head, you think with your fists.
You know what?
Jam, how about you? Do you put many games down? And if so, do you ever pick them back up?
It really depends. The biggest killer is if you lose a huge amount of playtime for whatever reason.
Oh, Persona 3, you're right.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, you put that down in a jiffy.
Damn it.
Yeah, that's really bad. Also, if there's just something that I cannot get past, although these days I'm now not above looking up on GameFAQs what I have to do because, I paid for this game. I want to get as much use out of it as possible.
Which is why the hint button on Wii is a great idea. I'm just trying to get Locke angry.
I know.
Anything you
you
already ruined my argument for gaming bread, so screw you. I rarely put down a game. I put down Manhunt because it pissed the hell out of me because it took away the sneaking elements towards the end of the game. They just gave you a gun instead of
I stopped there too. You're right.
Yeah, it's instead of doing all the sneak around and awesome executions, it's like, okay, here's a gun and 50 enemies. Go shoot them all.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. The last game that I completely put down with no intention of picking it up again was Call of Cthulhu, which I talked about ages ago, and you guys remember this.
Yeah.
Because it changed from being a sort of, not too bad, but fairly interesting first-person adventure game, with puzzles and inventory management and stuff, to being this really bad Call of Duty-esque shooter.
Yeah.
It's so bad. So yeah, I think if the game does that kind of change up and just gets lazy in its design, then I'll put it down as well.
Poor Call of Cthulhu.
And I try and make a good effort to not dismiss a game right off, but
I think the reason I put most games down is because I'm done with this for a little. I fully intend to come back to them, but then other things get in the way, and I just forget about them for a while. It's it was a year ago that I played that last. I should probably pick it up again.
Yeah, because I'm usually pretty good about finishing a game and then putting it down, even though I do want to come back to it. I don't really get frustrated all that much with games. I can't think of a really recent one that I've put down, unless you guys can. I even struggled through Stranglehold, and that was fun, but like I was playing it on hard mode, and I was almost at my wit's end. But yeah, I don't put games down. I don't know. I think I'm too nice on games. I think that's what I'm getting out of this show. I'll do better. I'll make the show better. Do we have time for more questions?
Yeah, I think we've got time for another one.
Okay, last one from Lieutenant Dan.
That's the new Samuel L. Jackson.
Can I continue?
And this time he's going after you. I hope you enjoy yourself, Lark.
Can I continue, please?
No. Yeah, I'm not going to do that again, believe me.
All right.
Trust me, I'm not going to do that again.
This question is from Lieutenant Dan. He says, "Hi, guys. What is your least anticipated game of 2009? Thanks, bye."
Good question.
It's probably something not on my radar.
Yeah, I don't know. Sunflower mentioned the Harry Potter tie-in game, which is inevitably going to come out around about the same time as the movie.
I don't mind.
I'll tell you what I'm not
Dynasty Warriors anything.
Oh, shush. I am not interested in the Watchmen game, nor am I interested in that shitty-ass movie.
Quiet you.
Did you watch it? Is it out?
What,
no, it's
movie?
not out.
No,
Yeah.
it's not out
The
yet.
graphic
but
novel.
I've seen the trailers, but it's really good.
It's like trash.
Yeah, well, you're an idiot.
I like how we just
Called Mixed Up
dismissed
Zombies
everything.
that too. Did you take that back?
What else? Yeah, just tie-in games like that. I don't know. There are some big releases on the radar, but most of them I'm looking forward to. There's not, anything that I'm particularly like. I know that's coming out, and I don't care. I guess if Gran Turismo 5 is coming out this year, God knows, I'm not interested in that really. I'm not a big racing sim fan.
So strange.
Yeah. Uncharted 2 I could care less about. No, I'm just kidding, Jeff. Actually,
you shut your mouth.
No, actually, one that's kind of relevant though. Well, StarCraft 2. I don't really care anymore.
Yeah, I didn't care really to begin with. Actually,
Yeah.
That's a good one. I forgot about
being a StarCraft fan, I don't really care about StarCraft 2 all that much.
It takes a lot of. Gosh, it's all due to the competition too. It's not because Blizzard's pissed all over StarCraft 2 and giving you a piece of crap. It just doesn't seem like it's able to keep up with the times.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that'll change when we play it, but will I buy it? I don't think so.
I doubt it. I'll wait for it to go on Good Old Games. Anyways, I think that's it. But definitely, I have to give damn good question to Little G.
Little A.
Oh, yeah. That's a damn good question.
You know what? Thank you for bringing that question out. I really appreciated that. And made us, kind of take a look at ourselves and how Sunflower hates puzzle games. All right, guys, so just before we finish the show, do you have any announcements for this week or the upcoming week?
Yes. The Street Fighter 4 Dojo. Those of you who are interested in getting into Street Fighter 4 or are a seasoned expert and would like to improve your skills, please drop on by our events forum. Check out the Street Fighter 4 Dojo thread. We meet at 10 a.m. Central Time every Sunday, and you progress in ranks by completing certain challenges that the instructors, which Locke is one of, and myself,
and
if you complete these challenges, you rank up. And as you rank up, you get tougher and tougher challenges, and we see if you can do that. Basically what it's meant to do, the entire focus of this event is to get people better at the game, not to, have tournaments and things like that, although that will certainly come. It's all about improving your game, and it's something that someone like you, Jam, would probably really appreciate.
Yeah, I probably would.
Because we go through everything from the simplest of things, your special moves, super combos and things like that. We end up drilling those fundamentals into people's heads and showing people how to use it. And you dropped a ring again.
Yeah, that's me.
Clumsy hands. So yeah, definitely check it out. We had our first event this morning before we recorded the Modcast, and we had a great turnout. A lot of people got promoted to yellow belt. Hopefully next week they'll get promoted to green if they can pass our challenges. Locke, you got any thoughts on the dojo?
No, I'm just focusing on the charge characters. So anyone who's going to use someone like Guile, M. Bison, I had Steve and Chip were my M. Bison students this morning. They did very well. Blanca, E. Honda, Chun-Li, anyone where you have to hold the controller down. That's who I'm going to focus on. Balrog, yeah. I think it's a great idea and a good way to get people better at the game and learn how to play the game differently in a way that you might not know, because I did mention this morning in that I was telling all my charge players is that you don't have to just hold backwards to charge. Actually, that's kind of a bad way to charge. You should be holding down and backwards, so the down lower diagonal, so that you can do both your up charge move and your forward charge move. So it kind of opens up your arsenal a bit. So that was a nice little lesson. But yeah, thanks.
Not to mention immediately start charging after you jump.
Exactly. The ABCs. Always be charging. But yeah, thank you for getting that running, Sonny. It's a great idea, and I'm honored to be a part of it. So,
I would like to see you enroll in this jam. That would be awesome.
Well, I'll get the game first. How about that?
Train you into a beast. A beast, I tell you.
For me, announcements, the club got put on hold a little bit just for the release of Street Fighter and Dawn of War. Chip will get that started back up. Next level, I forget what it is. It might be the Cruiser, but we'll see. Check out Good Old Games. They got some new games up.
They've made their selections for who the winners are.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear what they are.
They should be announcing them on Noobtoob episode 132. So keep your eyes open for 132 of the regular Noobtoob podcast to find those winners and to collect your free games, those of you who think you've made something nice.
Nice. And the final one, Sonny, what's Noobtoob? What happened there?
That is a DEF CON tournament, which I found out while we're doing the show. I was telling one of the people that participated in it, I was like, hey, tell me who won so that we can announce this. Oh, they're not done with it yet, even though it started on Saturday.
What is it, like a cricket tournament?
Oh, it's a DEF CON tournament on PC.
I know, they were trying to get me to try the demo, but I just honestly did not have time.
No time, man.
It's a bad time to be picking up new games right now for me, especially ones that are this is only $10, and it's supposed to be a really good kind of nuclear war strategy game. So
I hear.
Kind of play over a risk map. So we're curious to hear. I think Colt and Prankton are heading that up. A couple other guys.
Yep.
Other than
Colt,
that,
Plankton, and Nash are all pushing on the DEF CON stuff, and I know they got a Dawn of War 2 event coming up as well, which is going to be exciting. I want all of us to be in it.
You're going to challenge the Modcast or Cord?
Ooh. Bring it. Bring it.
Jam, any announcements from you?
No, apart from to tease the fact that I am starting the machinations to get a Noobtoob UK meetup at some point in the near future, like the next couple of months. I'm trying to get some information from a couple of big arcade locations around the country to see who basically has the best selection. So look out for that.
They have a gigantic tea session.
I know that
tea and crumpets, and you take pictures and say, "Here you go, Americans."
Yes, make sure you take pictures, please.
I will do.
I know there is a Great Lakes meetup over in kind of the Midwest, a little more north than you, Sonny, right?
Yeah, it's a ways from me.
Yeah,
it's quite a ways from me.
So anyone in the Great Lakes, like Michigan, Ontario, anywhere around there.
They were calling it a Midwest meetup, but I live in the Midwest, and that's like 12 hours away.
Yeah, it's pretty northeastern for you, I think. But check that out. That's all on the events or site discussion, somewhere in there. Some cool meetups. They're always fun. I think that's really interesting that you can, bring people together. And I always love meeting Noobtubers. It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
So I think that's it, boys. That's our show for the week. I want to thank Sonic Master and Chang for providing us with our music, as well as 50 Cent. If you want to subscribe to the Noobtoob Modcast, you can do so through the iTunes Store. And if you like us, please leave us a review. Also, if you're on Facebook, please join the Noobtoob Modcast group. I've been posting all our reviews up there. Same with the YouTube. If you want to see our in-depth reviews, I make some nice little videos on my YouTube account. You can check that out. Just search for Noobtoob Modcast, or you can search under mine, Locke. If you're not already a member, make sure to check out the Noobtoob.com forums, populated by the nicest and most helpful people you're likely to find on the internet. Be sure to leave the comments on the episode 57 thread in the UGC board. It's user-generated content. And send us your questions to noobtoobmodcast@gmail.com or use that fancy button down below in the thread. That's all I got to say. I'm off to Sonic Boom and Flash Kick. Some more people all day long.
I'm off as well.
As am I. Goodbye, everyone.
See you next week.